What's up? What's up? Carmen Disco here, UIA TV, Made in America. We got an awesome show today. This is a show just before we're going out to the hardware show. Bring on my guest, the king of manufacturing, Mr. Christopher Guerrero. What's up, Chris?
Carmine, I'm pretty excited about next week. What an event, right? You think about the guests we have. We have an all-star panel of speakers, all-star panel of pitch panel experts. I mean, the VIPs, all of the events that we're going to be going through next week. The weather looks great. I am extremely excited about it.
Yeah. I haven't seen too many events. We go to a lot of events every year. This one's really gearing up to be awesome. We got a lot of people showing up. I hope that we keep it going. We got a lot of momentum going into the show. Social media is blowing up, and a lot of people heading into Vegas next week.
Yeah, I tell you, the buzz around, right, with our guests, it's just more excitement than I've ever seen for a show in general. Like, shows are fun, right? But like, this show just has a different feel to it. We got so many good people, with Catherine Emery just promoting all of the great events the UIA is putting on, with all the media exposure with Forbes and Wall Street and Inc. magazine, and being on the pitch panels with executives from Home Depot, Lowe's. I'm personally excited. I know the buzz is really great right now.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and then we're gonna be going into more and more shows. So it's awesome, man. So what do we got going on today?
So my pastime is music, right? I can't play it, I can't sing, so I always have to have guests on to help me with it, right? So today we're gonna have on Te Atana. We're gonna call her Tay, right? Today we talk about music. She even got a chance to meet Dr. Dre. So we're going to get into all that. Well, let's bring her on first. Hey, Tay, glad you can join us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. But don't call me Tay ever again.
I knew that would catch you.
At least you didn't call me Lil Tay. That'd be even worse.
Well, it's funny. When we were playing a lot of football, I got nicknamed Big Dog.
Big Dog.
That stuck, right? But then my son Chris.
Yeah.
So he became the little dog.
Oh, okay.
My
That's
son
cool.
Tyler became the mini dog.
Oh, the mini.
And now you see how big Tyler is, so we don't call him mini dog anymore.
You only get a nickname in sports if you're good. So yeah.
I used to lay people out. That's where Big Dog came from.
Big Dog.
Hey, Kay, I know you were good in sports. What was your nickname then?
Huh?
I know you were good in sports. What was your nickname?
Oh, this Raptar. That was my nickname in softball. This girl, I was like, yeah, Raptar. Like, I don't know, this girl just came up with it one day, and then that was like a thing until I was like 17. Yeah. Raptar. Like, anytime I was on the field.
I even had a license plate that said dog. Finally, I said, okay, I can't be putting dog.
Yeah.
License plates on BMWs anymore. I gotta take that.
Yeah, but the girl, she called me It was like a combination of reasons, like because my real name is Tara, and then there's this like show called Rugrats where there's like a little dinosaur, and its name is Reptar, and I would like talk about like I'd like loved dinosaurs growing up, like whatever, and I would rap too. Like I've been like, since I was like 10 or like whatever. And so this girl, she's like, oh, like you're Raptar. And so that was like a thing. Like I couldn't escape it. I liked it too though, like at the time. Cause
That makes sense.
They all have good meaning. It's funny because all the kids I coach now, every time they see me, dog, what's up? They still call me it.
Yeah,
they're all grown men now.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So let's talk about you now. Let's talk about music. So when did this all happen? When did you start saying to yourself, man, I got a little bit of talent here. I can write songs, I can sing, and you start falling in love with it. How did that happen?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, like it's been like a whole entire lifelong thing for me. When I was about like 5 or 6, because my mom had me and my older sister enrolled in piano lessons, and like I hated it at first because like I'm super ADHD. I have a really hard time sitting down and like reading the sheet music and being told like what to do. So it wasn't until after I stopped having like formal lessons that I would sit down at the piano, and I was listening specifically to it was the song Firework by Katy Perry on the radio. and I could play it like just like right after hearing it.
See, that seemed
And
like
so
that was
like
just last year. She says how long she's been doing this, Carmine. She doesn't know how old we are.
no, you're what? You're like 25, right?
Yeah. Oh,
You're
yeah.
like a year older than
My sons are more than 20 or what's that? 24.
yeah. It was my birthday yesterday, actually.
It was your birthday?
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, should I sing happy birthday then? No.
If you want, no, I'll coach you through it.
No, forget it.
Comes from the diaphragm.
Right. Let's keep talking about you.
Yeah. No, so I think I was like around like 10 or 11 at that point when I was like, wow, like I can just like hear a song on the radio or like whatever, and then like literally play the entire thing after, like without being taught, without having to like watch a YouTube video or nothing. And then as time went on, when I was in school, I actually started to develop like a speech impediment, so I didn't like to talk in school. And then I discovered Eminem though, and I could rap to like all of his songs, like everything, and play piano too at the same time. And I had loved writing poetry, and so I was like, you know what, like I think I'm just gonna start like writing my own songs, just like, you know, about like what I'm going through as a 12-year-old girl in middle school. And so yeah, but you know, that's kind of like really like where it started for me. And then that kind of escalated into when I got my first iPad, and I downloaded GarageBand on it too. So I started making like little beats on it and everything. And just over the years, that was like my thing. I was always writing, always on piano, always making and producing instrumentals. And then when I turned 18, I was like, I don't know if I want to go to college or what, but I ended up applying for Berklee College of Music, ended up getting into that, and then started going to school, realized I hate college, and then I got hired as an audio engineer at a recording studio in Boston, and I realized I had like networking skills too, and I love talking to people, and I love hearing people's, especially like musicians, I love hearing their story, and how they kind of channel that into their craft, because it's a relatable thing. That's what I do, is whenever I go through something in life, I'm like, shit, it's writing material for me, and that's, you know, really, I think writing is the core to being, you know, a successful musician and a successful artist, because art is, you know, it's self-expression, it's storytelling. Yeah, so I started singing. I taught myself how to sing through like YouTube videos, and I kind of just had, I guess, like a natural talent for it. Like I never really had vocal lessons before, and I have very sensitive hearing too. So I kind of just, I don't know, I would like hear myself sing and record myself. I actually have my microphone like right here. I record myself. I do my own mixing, mastering, make my own beats. Yeah. So
that's pretty cool. You know, I listened to Chris Trapper tell us about how he got started, right? He's made it pretty big with movies and songs, and he writes with Rob Thomas and Matchbox. Yeah. And it's kind of ironic. He had his similar path. Like he talks about how, you know, in school a little bit got bullied, and you know, he wanted to do it, and he started expressing it in music. And his dad said, "Wow, you got some skill." And even when he played at our Shark Tank event, you know, I've heard him in big arenas, but man, being that intimate that night was amazing. His music is absolutely amazing. Yeah, but to be able to write, like to take your emotions, 100%. That's what I always felt, and put them down on paper. Like I think about like Matchbox 20 and Rob Thomas, like when I could relate to people, I could relate to his songs so well. Like Brandy loves Eminem, right? But like everybody has their person that they can relate to. I just know I can't do it. I don't have the skills.
No, you can't.
I have a lot of good skills
like that.
Music is not one of them.
No, I mean, I think that, I mean, I get it if you're not, you know, like musically inclined per se, because I guess for me, like I don't know how to articulate it. It just comes very second nature to me. Like I honestly think that if I had just heard the music and had the piano in front of me at a young age and never even had piano lessons, I probably would still be like where I am today, like regardless. Because I think that sometimes for a lot of artists and musicians, it's just kind of like a natural thing. And for some people, it's like, it's kind of like the difference between being gifted and being skilled. You can be very gifted, which like I would say like I am, for example, but I had to also become skilled, or else I wouldn't have been able to package my gift and share it in a way.
Yeah.
Whereas
Talk
yeah,
about that a little bit. So like, do you have an album out? I know I saw some of your music. You had a single out. It was really great. You did a video on it. But how does that talk about how you get that to a point where all your thoughts now on paper, now you put music to it, now you sing to it, then it goes into some type of record or some type of promotional event.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I think that social media has changed the music industry in such an exponential way, honestly, because back in the day, you would record your song and if you were like signed to a label, for example, like the label would distribute it. But there are so many independent artists right now who are blowing up, and for me, for example, like what I would do is like, have my song already and like I said, I do everything myself from like the beat making to writing and recording, mixing, mastering. Sometimes I get help with the audio engineering and sometimes I'm kind of like, no, like I need to do it myself because it has to be like perfect. And then you get your artwork done, the cover art, and then you put the song through a distributor, and that can be like what's the name of mine? DistroKid, that's one. There's a lot more, and you can put that song up there, and then what that company does is they take your song and they put it to Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music, Tidal, all these different platforms. And then what I would do is, because I'm an independent artist, I would use my social media to promote and market that song. And sometimes like people, like you can put money behind it, but if you have like a really big fan base, like you don't need to put like a ton of money behind it. It depends, I guess, on like everyone's financial
like TikTok. Do you do any stuff on TikTok?
Yeah. I like, oh my God.
That platform is insane.
I went viral on TikTok actually. Like a couple years ago for the first time. I got like 5 million views overnight on one video. And it's crazy because I literally went from having like, I think like 300 followers to overnight 110,000 like organic followers. And I didn't put any money behind my video, like nothing. That platform has like, I don't know how, like, it's like the algorithm or something. You don't have to put any money into any of your videos. You just have to hit a certain niche and post it at the right time, and if it hits the algorithm, I mean, it's like game over for some people. Like people's lives have changed, and if you take like I said, like these companies like DistroKid, you can have that company distribute your song onto apps like TikTok, right? And you can pick like, okay, I want to do a challenge with this song, so I want to pick like a specific like 15-second long clip from that song and like have people do a dance or a challenge to it, use my Instagram and my Facebook to promote it, and then I can like pay influencers on TikTok with big followings to pick that song, which would be like a sound then because it's like a short clip, and then they would do a dance to it or a challenge to it, and that can like completely 100% change an artist's career. Completely. It's happened to so many people that I know. It should have happened with me already, but I like went MIA for 2 years. So like I like just started getting back into like, the music industry like since like last year, and I'm kind of
come on, you need to do a TikTok. You need to get going, man.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I can't even spell TikTok.
Yeah.
What I love about social media is that it really has brought people who had never had the ability to be discovered, to be heard, to the forefront, which I think is awesome because, it allows, it kind of levels the playing field to where the real true artists can come out.
100%, yeah. I mean, the thing that's annoying, I guess, I think, is like a lot of it does have to do with like marketing now. So I'm like, damn, some fools are blowing up online. And it's
Oh,
like
they're
so annoying
crazy.
because they have the
The
money
top
and the
five TikTokers are
marketing.
kids. Really, they're like
What?
young, like they're like your age.
Yeah,
They're young. They're doing something that blew up, and then
yeah,
they do it all the time. They're making a
yeah,
ton of cash on it too. It's like it's changed the
yeah,
whole landscape of how you can get your product out. I mean,
yeah,
it's no different than launching a product, right, Carmine? The thing
Nope.
she's saying, it's music versus actual product. They're all have similar structures, similar processes. That's what I
yeah.
love. Like having music on this show as well, because it's I may not be able to write or sing, right? But there's so many other people that can. I know I can engineer products and I can develop them and get them in
Yeah.
retail. But there's similar paths. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's super similar actually. And the cool thing too, I think like about being an artist as well and a musician is when it comes to branding, I think it's fun because you can be really creative with how you choose to display yourself to the public and what image you want to push, and kind of like, yeah, just how you want to tell your story to the world. And it's been an interesting journey for me too, just because I don't really particularly just I don't categorize myself in like one genre. Like I don't just do hip hop. I don't just do pop. I don't just do ED. Like I do everything. I do all of them. So it's been cool to kind of like this last year in particular too, since like I like met Dr. Dre, for example. I like went to his house. It was a huge in a way like a wake up call for me to really start exploring that part of myself when it comes to branding and imaging, and not even just from a business perspective, but like this is like what I'm gonna leave behind if I blow up someday, which given the situation I'm in right now, it's probably gonna happen like in a year because of like my network and my contacts and like the work that I'm doing right now. So it's been so exciting, like kind of like being like, how am I gonna like portray myself and how am I what is my style gonna look like? How are people gonna perceive me? How am I gonna tell my story? And I don't know, it's just really cool and it's made me fall in love with music even more. Just exploring this different, part of myself with
Yeah. So
like
Tay,
image.
I wanted to close out the show with talking about that. I see you in
Yeah.
the West Coast a lot. I saw you with
Yeah.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Talk about that a little bit and what that experience was. I'm sure that's like you're in the music
Crazy.
industry and you meet Dr. Dre. It's like what? What
That
just
was the
happened?
most insane thing ever. Like, I'm not even really like religious, but that was God. Like 100% because before that happened, like a week before that happened, you know, my my family, it's not that they're not supportive of what I do, but they don't really understand like how it works now, especially because of social media. You can make bank off of making music, like literally. And they're, like they're older, so like they don't
Like,
really
do that, Carmine.
don't show them this. So we kind of like had gotten into
Don't
a
show
fight.
them.
What?
She said, "Don't show them."
Don't show them.
We're gonna
Nah.
show everybody.
Oh shit. So it was crazy though, because we had gotten into a fight because they were like you need to get like a regular job, and I was like I'm so talented. How can I like throw this away? Like I'm so close, and I don't know what it was, but something was telling me like I need to leave here like now, but I don't know what to do, where to go, how am I gonna do it, whatever. So for a while, I was actually
Tay, that's what we talk about a lot in our business. It's being present,
yeah,
being in the right moment at the right time. I got opportunities that I was
yeah,
at the right moment.
one
That
hundred
helped my
percent,
career escalate.
100%. So that's why I say it was like divine intervention. I
Mhm.
truly believe after, especially like how this past year went for me. There's no way that happened for no reason. There's no way. But anyway, so we had this like big fight, whatever, and I was like, I can't, like this is crazy. So at the time I was doing remote like video editing for this app that I'm a part of called TurboFit. It's this like workout fitness app, and it's actually like blowing up too right now. So I was working doing video editing for that, and my boss and him and I had like kind of developed like a a friendship and like a mentor sort of like relationship, and he would talk to me about just God and healing and things like of that nature. And he said to me, he goes, hey, like I'm gonna be out of town for a wedding, and I live in Los Angeles. Do you want to come house sit? Because I have 2 cats and I need someone to watch them. It sounds like you really need to get away and take a break for a little bit from everything. And I'd never been to LA before, so I was like, am I like about to go fly to some like random person's house that I like never met in my life, like just because like I work like whatever. And honestly, I was like, you know what, like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And so I bought a ticket, and I went on the plane, and I got there, and we FaceTimed and everything before, and he was always talking about like, I'm so excited to have you. He was like very charismatic. He's actually become like such an important role model to me after knowing him, and like his whole family too and everything. But yeah, he picked me up from the airport. We went to his place, and I had my own guest room and everything, bathroom, and we were talking about music, and he's like, hey, so like I think it was like brother-in-law or something, his daughter's having a graduation party tomorrow. They live in, where was it? Not Calabasas. It's somewhere near Calabasas. And he's like, do you want to come and just like meet them? He's worked with like Usher before and like whatever. So I'm like, yeah, sure. Like I'll go. And the entire like intention of me being in LA, ironically, was like to take a break from music. So the next day rolls around. We go to, his name's Pete Farmer. He's like an A&R, and he's put on like Usher he worked with, and El DeBarge I know he worked with too. Who else? TLC, Pink. So we get to his house, and I kind of was just like, I'm just gonna enjoy myself, whatever. So we get there, and I see a piano inside his house, and I'm like, oh my god, it was such a beautiful piano too. It was like a grand piano, Steinway, I think. And so I sat down at it, and I started playing. And before I know it, there's like people like coming around. And then I had heard that my boss, his name's Turhan, I had heard that he was like kind of like telling people about me and my music, because I showed him some of my unreleased stuff, and I was kind of like I don't know if I want to quit music or like what I want to do, whatever. Because I was heavily considering, after that fight I had with my parents, quitting music. I felt so defeated. But that love for music was still there, and so all these people are crowding around me at this piano, and so I'm like, whatever, like I get up, I go to the bathroom, I come out, and this woman comes up to me, and she's like, you're gonna sing for us, like be ready. And I was like what's going on? So, and that's when like something, like the energy just like in the room changed, and I felt like I was in like a movie. Like I felt like whatever is about to happen is supposed to be happening. I don't know why, but it was this very intense, intuitive feeling to just have faith in source or whatever. So I go out, and there's this tall guy, whatever, he's got sunglasses on. It wasn't Pete, because I met Pete before, and I don't know who he is. And so he sits down, and there's like people like just at the piano, and so they're like, all right, like sing and play something. So I decided to sing and play an original song. It's unreleased. It's called Passion the Purpose, and I'm gonna drop it soon. And they wanted me to stand up then and then sing a cappella, do an R&B song, whatever.
And
then
meanwhile, you're being interviewed. You don't even know it.
Like literally, like that's, well, yeah. My life like changed that day. Then this guy, I still have no idea who he is, but apparently he's like the biggest deal in the room. I never knew who he was before, and so he's like, all right, like we're gonna go to the car to like listen to my songs on my phone, my unreleased songs. So we all go to his car, and it's like a whole entire, like 20 people, like a whole group of us. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? This is so, I've never like had this
Surreal.
much. Yeah. So we go into his car. It's a Rolls Royce. I've never been in a Rolls Royce like in my life. The one with the stars on the roof. I start playing my music for him. Turns out that this guy, his name is Michael Harris, and he's the founder of Death Row Records. And he had just been released from prison. He actually got pardoned by Donald Trump like a few months prior to us meeting. And I was one of the first artists that we had that connection with each other following his release and following that huge blow up fight that I had. And it was the connection I can't even begin to explain. And that's why I'm so excited right now, because I'm about to go back to LA actually to meet with him. You have no, I'm
so he brought you to Dr. J, Dr. Dre?
Yeah,
so then, to the studio?
Yeah, so the next day, so we ended up shaking hands. He gave me his number. He was like, come to Marina Del Rey tomorrow, like whatever, we're gonna meet up, get some breakfast and listen to more music. So we do that. He shakes my hand the next day and he's like, congratulations, like I'm in the presence of a superstar. And I was kind of like I like honestly like came here to take a break from music, and like that is not happening. And he looks at me in the eyes and he goes, so tomorrow, like I'm gonna take you to Dr. Dre's house. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yikes.
And like my main musical influence is Eminem. Eminem is my number one main influence for the reason why I even got into this in the first place. And I'm going to Dr. Dre's house tomorrow. Like, what?
Who knows? That might lead you to Eminem.
Well,
you never know how that stuff works.
Yeah, and that's not the goal. I mean, that would be so
right.
cool.
I know, but that's how it works.
But yeah, so anyway.
So you go to his house and he has his whole studio in his house, right?
Yeah, so we got to his house. It was, oh my God. I mean, he's a billionaire, so I would be lying.
Beats, right, for like 300
Yeah, with Apple. He had to deal with Apple. I would be lying if I said that I wasn't intimidated being in his house and just being in the presence of all of that legacy and history and success. And we sat down in the living room and we ended up talking. It was me. There was this other girl. Her name was Kyra. She's dope. She's a beautiful voice. Mike, and then a couple other people, and then Dre. And we kind of just had like, we were like getting to know each other like in the beginning when we got there, and so he was like talking about, he's like, I'm about to get a divorce, like whatever. He's like, I'm free. I was like, oh.
No.
and so no, but he was super dope. I mean, it was so cool. And then
think about a guy at that level. That's what I always say. These levels, they don't have to do any of this stuff. To
he
give
literally
back and to help people is pretty cool.
That's what I'm saying, is like he literally said, because I asked him a few questions. I forgot what I said to him, but I remember him saying like he doesn't need anything like ever again in the world. And I wonder what it's like to be at that level where you've made that much money, you've had all that success, and now all you get to do is help people and do what you want every day. Like that's the dream.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you saw him of course you saw him on the Super Bowl stage, right? He did
yeah,
that was pretty cool.
I was actually one of the first people in the world to know that he was going to perform in the Super Bowl with like Eminem and Snoop, and so I played piano, sang for him. That one song that I did for Mike when we met, the Passion the Purpose song, and then after that we went downstairs into his studio, crazy studio, super dope, better than anything. Literally, I've worked in so many studios, and his home studio, it felt like actually very cozy in a way. It didn't feel industrial, but it still felt like that high tech, but like cozy and like homey at the same time. I can't explain it. And I ended up playing like 5 of my songs for him that are unreleased, and I'm releasing one of them soon. I'm actually editing a video for it. And yeah, man, so it was unreal. And he
How
showed.
do you follow up that, Carmine?
I'm
mean,
just,
I get
I'm
those
sitting
names of
listening
people I
like,
met. She got Dr. Dre.
this is insanely there's no coincidence here. This is supposed to happen.
This is what we
Yeah.
talk about, being present. Like
Yeah.
something happens, you're in the right spot at the right time, and it happens to a lot of these superstar artists.
Yeah.
It really does. You know, Rob Thomas talks about being homeless at one point in his career,
Yeah.
and he was knocking on doors of producers to show him one of his songs. So he listened to it. Finally, guys, I'll give you a minute. Listen to the song and said, "Whoa," and that's how it started.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's it's crazy. And that day at Dr. Dre's house was 100% thus far the biggest day in my life, career-wise, and even personally.
Outside of today's show, right?
Yeah, now that's the second best day. This is the first best
told us too.
It just was that day for me. That's why I've been telling, because this is the first show that I've like talked about my experience on, because so much happened following that. And I also was homeless in LA too, for a little bit, because I had moved there and so much stuff went wrong when I got there that I also think happened for a reason. I do feel like the last year has been building up my resiliency, and I've developed a really thick skin. So if something does happen and I blow up and I'm famous, whatever, because people are mean online, they're so mean. And I feel like now I've gotten to a place where if someone were to talk and cyberbully and do the dumb troll shit online, I'd be unbothered because I've been homeless in LA.
I'll tell you, I'll close it out like this. Like, you have a vision, you know where you want to go, see it, right? And really believe it, because truly the people who don't see it, obviously don't believe it. And those are the ones that are going to hold you back. So you got to have a vision. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've done something and people said, well, why are you doing that? I'm like, I don't need you. I don't need your permission. I feel like this is something I should do. And it always worked out. So you got to have a vision, believe in it, and work towards it every day. And you got to put the chatter, the white noise out, especially like the trolls online. That's like useless talk to me. People behind a computer that have done nothing in their life are going to pick apart someone who's trying to do something with their life. You need encouragement. You need leadership. You don't need those people, because those people will always be those people.
There'll always be those people. They'll always be bitter, negative. So I'm too
really cool stuff. I mean, this is the first time I heard the whole story too. So really cool stuff. I think for me, again, it's no different than being whether you're a musician, you're an inventor, an entrepreneur. It all has similar characteristics. And to hear your story today is great. So what we'll do is, when you become famous, just don't forget us, okay?
I'm going to be doing business with you. You're going to invite me to Vegas to perform, so I won't be forgetting you.
Right. That's a good way to close this one out. Hey, thank you so much. I love the story.
You.
And,
hey, what's next for you? How can listeners help you out?
Sorry?
How can our listeners help you out?
Where can we find you?
Oh my gosh. Well, so my name is Te Atana. You can find me on every single platform.
Say that slower. Say that slower, Te.
Te Atana. Te space Atana. I'm on every single platform. And my Instagram and my TikTok is TE_ATANA. I have a new song coming out with a giveaway, new video coming out. It's all fire, and I got some big things happening. I'm doing some really exciting things in the next couple of months.
Wow, that's awesome.
A year from now, we're gonna have a superstar on the show.
That's right.
I'm gonna book you ahead of schedule so I get on.
Would love to be back.
Have you on.
Would love it.
All right, thank you so
Sure.
much.
All right, well, that's
really,
awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Great story.
It's so great
Thank
to have
you.
you on. It's so cool. I can't wait to see what's coming next for you. It's awesome. We are so proud of you sticking with it. And obviously, you're on your way. All you listeners out there, make sure you heard it here first. It's awesome. Awesome stuff. Thank you very much. All you listeners, please go on out to Google Play, iTunes, wherever you consume your podcast material. Make sure you give us a listen, subscribe to the show, leave us a comment, or let us know how we're doing. We would love to hear. For myself, Carmen Danisco, and Mr. Christopher Guerrero, we thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Made in America. You all take care.